Good morning. Welcome again to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great day. Soon to be Doctors In podcast, and good morning, Kim. How are you? Good to have you on with us this morning, and hopefully, at least Northern Ontario here, we're having wonderful weather. Michael. Good morning. And Rosalinda and Rose. Nativity. Good morning. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. We never take this for granted, guys. Rosa, Jerry, what about those Habs? Lori from Niagara Falls. Wendy, our dear friend. Good morning to you. Nice to have you on with us this morning. Jeanette, Micheline, Nellie, the Faithfuls. Love you guys. Claudette, good morning. And Joe, BC. 5:30 in the morning. You're a trooper, Joe. Colleen. And Melody from BC. Melody, you're a trooper. Thanks for coming on. Pam, good morning to you. Nice to have you on with us, Pam, this morning. And Morris from North Bay. Say hello to a few more here this morning. Barbara. And Rose, another Rose. Sheila, good morning. And right from Sudbury, Sheila, good for you. Blanca. Nice to have you on with us this morning. Our staff, Nick. Is Jeanette on with us? I'm not sure. Diane, good morning. And we appreciate so much. Madeleine, dear friend from Temiskaming. Maria. Hello, Maria. You guys are great. Lois. And Lucy. Hi, Lucy. How are you? Okay. And Laura. Nice to have you on. Okay, let's get going and I'll come on and say hello to the rest of you. And Sherry from Cape Breton. And Zian, our dear friend. And Jean, Claudette. We appreciate you guys. Laura from New Liskeard. Alicia. I want to say hello to everybody. I hate missing people. And from Springdale, Newfoundland, Catherine. There, yeah, Jeanette's on with us. I knew it. Okay, we're going to talk about BPA. Okay, new study coming out on plastics. Okay, and how this particular study talked about it being an endocrine disruptor. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Now, listen, let me just make this. Let me make a general statement so that you understand where I'm coming from. We live in a world, guys. There's some things you can't control in life. You have to put that in your craw to understand you do everything you can. You do everything you can. But you can't control everything. And one of the things that you cannot control, at least not completely, is the presence of plastics. They're part of everything. I was reading that here's what they're finding annually. 450 million tons of plastics in the world annually. 450 million tons of it. Found on, listen to this, found on Mount Everest and found in the deepest part of the oceans. The highest part in the world, Mount Everest, plastics are found there at the lowest point of the earth, in the oceans, the deepest part of the oceans, they find plastic there. They have found plastic, and I mentioned this to you maybe a few weeks ago, they find plastic in the placenta. 95% of all blood tests, when they test blood, 95% of people that they tested for plastic are found in their blood, 95%. It's in your blood. It's in the environment. It's in the water. It's in the air. BPA. Now that's the bad news. Now let me give you a few more things. What plastics do. One of the things that plastics do is they disrupt, and this is what it was saying, that this study showed that plastics, BPA in particular, disrupted a man's testosterone. Now men, we don't have enough testosterone. I was reading some man's testosterone levels yesterday, and it was normal in terms of blood work, but it certainly was, I think he was around 300. I like 1,000. You know, you want to optimize testosterone. One of the things that disrupts testosterone in men is plastics. Now, why is that? What happens there? Again, coming back, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. When you have plastics, BPA, but, you know, another 99,000 chemicals, over 100,000 chemicals have been created. Plastic is a chemical. And it's very convenient. You know, I get a chuckle when I go to the grocery store and they say, well, we're not giving out plastic bags. And, you know me, I like to tease people a little bit. And the poor girl at the cashier, I said, well, can I bring you through the store and show you everything that's in plastic in this place? I mean, from the freezer section to the almost every food, unless it's in a can, is in plastic. If you want to get vegetables or fruit, you get a plastic bag from the grocery section, true or false, from the produce section, and you put your food in the plastic. And then they won't give you plastic bags on the way out. You know, okay. You know, it's like you see someone wearing a mask and they can't get outside fast enough in a grocery store to have a cigarette. Or they're wearing their mask in Costco. And look, guys, please don't come after me for this, okay? I'm just teasing. But then they got their cart is full of sugar. Everything's sugar. Pastries from Costco. Oh, but I got my mask on. You know, like as if that helps. If you don't take care of the rest of it. Anyway, let's get back to plastics. So guys, look, I'm not a defeatist. You know that about me. I'm a very optimistic person. But I'm also a realist. We live in this world. And good luck. I mean, one of the things the world is emphasizing, and I don't want to insult anyone, but is carbon. Okay? Apparently heating the earth So we shouldn't drive our cars. We shouldn't eat steak because the cows have flatulence that's creating a carbon. Climate change. CO2. Okay. I don't buy it. Okay? That's not my emphasis. Okay? I admit, I'm not a climatologist. But, people worry, they miss, in my opinion, they miss the picture that they need. Like, what can you control? And by the way, plants, trees can't live without CO2. And they suck up this. So the more trees there are, anyway, let's not go there. Okay. Because it bugs me. I've told you on this program many, many a time, I don't like deception. Okay, now back to plastics. Put it in your cocombe, okay? Up there. It's part of our life now. And not that we shouldn't try cleaning it up. I'm 100% for that. I think instead of emphasizing the climate, we should be cleaning our world up as much as we can. Clean up and get it out of the oceans and get it out of our water as much as we can. And I believe in that 100%. But this is something that you and we have to live with. But today, I'm going to give you good news because I'm going to talk to you specifically on what you can do. You can't help anybody else till you help yourself, okay? So when I do the health coaching, okay, think it's going to be in August, sir. We're just finalizing that. When I do the health coaching, I want health coaches, first of all, to take care of themselves. You got to get it. Before you give it to anyone else, you have to be an example to people. Okay? And that's really important. So, what can you do? We live in a crazy world. We live in a world that does everything, it seems, backwards. What can you control? You can't, what are you going to do? Change the world? Probably not. And that's why I get uptight because I don't like being lied to or deceived or whatever. But I try and emphasize I'm going to do the best I can for me first in terms of my health. And then I'm going to preach it on top of the rooftops, how to help other people. And I just been blessed. Thank you very much. And this is why I start my program and then I finish it afterwards. And I want to go and say thank you guys. Every one of you. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but you come on and I appreciate that. And my job, doctor means teacher. Teach. Make it simple, stupid. The KISS theory. Right? Keep it simple, stupid. And this is me. That's why I'm trying to do it. Okay, now, let's get back to plastics. One of the reasons that men have very low levels of testosterone, it's shocking. It's shocking how low men's levels of testosterone have, on average, gone down in the last 30, 40 years. It's shocking. Men are not men. As a matter of fact, men, when they hit the age of 50, have more estrogen than their wives do. And of course that affects in women, okay? Very simple. Well, no, there's nothing simple about women. They're complicated. But a simple teaching, ladies. This is you. Estrogen makes you a woman, and progesterone, pro-babies, is the balancing hormone. That's a woman. Okay? Just generally figure that out, ladies. Estrogen, progesterone. Balance. That's when you're at the top of your game. Men, you know what it is? It's testosterone. So ladies, you have testosterone. Ladies, you need testosterone, but you don't need much. Because that's not what you have to worry about. You never have to worry about testosterone. When women try and talk to me about, oh, doc, I need some testosterone. No. Just get balance between your estrogen and progesterone and you will be fine. Men, it's testosterone and estrogen. What? Yeah. And there shouldn't even be a fight. But there is a fight today. And one of the reasons that men have so little testosterone is because their estrogen goes up. One of the reasons that their estrogen goes up, of course, is what we call xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens. And xenoestrogen, one of the worst, is PBA. Plastics. Your body thinks that plastic is estrogen. Your body thinks that any chemical, when you can't pronounce it, is estrogen because it mimics estrogen. That's what we call xenoestrogens. And guys, listen to this. This is a new phenomenon. You have to understand, if we go back in the history of man, it wasn't really until DuPont came along, the world's largest chemical company. And listen, again, you ain't getting away from it. So you can be mad at the world for allowing this, or you can say, look, I am going to take care of myself first. And then I am going to influence those who I can influence. And first of all, I am going to lead by example. People ask me. People ask my wife. People ask my family. Does Dr. Martin just preach that stuff or does he live it? I try and live it. Ask them. Ask them. I try and live it. You know? As much as I can. So, why? One of the factors in something that we never had to deal with before in the history of mankind. We had to deal with a lot of stuff, but we didn't have to deal with BPA. We didn't have to deal with it. But now we got to deal with it. And it's disrupting our levels of estrogen in the body. For women, it's a contributor Of course, diet, and you and I have talked about this so often about the diet, and I will come back to the diet because it's a way that you can help yourself. And I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons. What do? You live on the planet. Check your address. If the last part of your address is planet Earth, you got to deal with it. If you live on another planet, it might not be affecting you at all. Okay, well, good for you. The rest of us, planet Earth is part. And every time I think of this, I just got to make a little note of it, because what are you going to do? Go live on your own island? You ain't going to get rid of plastic. It's in the ocean. It's on Mount Everest. Babies are born. In their placenta, they have plastic. No wonder, no wonder it's a factor in autism and stuff like that we never saw before. And now we see it. A lot of new things. And the increase in breast cancer, because your estrogen's going up, ladies, and prostate cancer. 1 out of 4 men after the age of 50 will get prostate cancer. It's not really part of aging. It's part of endocrine disruption. And the fact that our insulin is so high, and that's a growth hormone, but estrogen's another growth hormone. No wonder we see so much cancer. Okay, so what do you do? What do you do? Well, I had a lady talk about, okay, she sent me an email. It might have been on the private Facebook group, because I don't know. Sometimes I didn't see it, but the girls are showing me. You see what's behind me here? See that off in the corner? Can you see that? See my microscope? Okay. I'm a big guy on looking at blood. I love blood. Life of the flesh is in the blood. So you want to, you know, I studied blood for, I don't know, 50 years. Yeah. Geez, I'm old. The study of blood, histology. Okay? And I was always fascinated by it. And a lot of times when I did lab work in the office, and we looked for heavy metals, and we looked for parasites and candida, you know, we did tests that were different than, you know, the routine tests you would get done with your blood work. And that's all right. I mean, I like looking at, I've told you, I like looking at your lipid profile. I'm particularly interested in triglycerides and HDL. And, you know, yesterday we talked about A1C. Okay? I got to come back to that, because some people were a little bit confused yesterday. Okay? And I will talk about that, because it's important that, you know, I don't want you to be confused about it. I want you to understand where I was coming from and on that teaching yesterday. So when I look at blood, I always tell people this. You have a filter. The number one thing that your liver does 600 things. But your liver will purify your blood. As long as your liver is functioning properly and is empty. One of the reasons that we created the reset is in 7 days. It's really 6, but I say 1 week. In 7 days, you are going to empty your liver. So when you want to do a detox, hear me now. When you know, oh, doc, should I do a detox? Yeah. Okay, how do I do that? Well, it's not by drinking green juice. It isn't. That's not a detox. That's not emptying your liver. Your liver is a filter. Your liver it produces glutathione. Your body produces, you know what glutathione is? It's Velcro. All the garbage sticks to glutathione. Your body makes it when your liver is clean. How do you get a clean liver? The reset. You see how important your diet is? When you don't eat sugar, when you lay off crappy carbohydrates, no carbs, liver gets emptied. That's how you empty a fatty liver. You see fat in your liver. Okay, I'm going to show you fat again. Okay, see this? If that's in your liver, you know what fat does? Fat attracts estrogen. Fat releases estrogen. Fat attracts estrogen. Fat attracts chemicals that look like estrogen. See that? See that fat? When you eat sugar, you fill your liver with this. What? You eat bacon and eggs. Oh, doctor, look at all that fat. Well, yeah, but that doesn't turn to this in your liver. Your liver's fat comes from your diet of carbohydrates. Sugar. You want to get rid of plastic? Leave the planet. No. Clean your liver. That's how you get a detox. You got it? Clean your liver. And guess what else you're cleaning? When you are cleaning your liver, you're cleaning your kidneys. Because what destroys your kidneys? Not protein. You see how the world is so stupid? I'm eating too much protein, my doctor says, because I got protein in my urine. Ooh, in grade 1. In grade 1, doctors should have learned that's not true. It's not protein that gums up your kidneys. It's sugar. That's what gums up your kidneys too. And you want to pee out your chemicals. So you need to drink water. Flush them out and cut your sugar out. I can't emphasize enough. That's your number one detox. I'm drinking green juices. Okay. I'm sorry, but that won't do it. It won't do it, guys. You got to clean your liver. Your body is wonderfully made. Your body knows exactly what to do, even with chemicals. Numero 1, clean the liver. You clean your liver by cutting out your carbs so that you're not producing this in your liver and you're not detoxing. And by the way, you know what hemochromatosis is? Your iron is gone through the roof. So medicine, I get it. I understand it. They want you to, we're going to take your blood out to lower your iron. I know. But why do you have so much iron? For those listening on a podcast, I am showing 1 pound of fat. It's yellow. It's ugly. And it loves your liver. Empty it. You're doing a detox like no other detox. Numero 2, number duo. 2, probiotics. Leaky gut, leaky everything. You gotta fix your microbiome. Diet, even that helps, right? Don't feed the bears. Don't feed candida. You know what candida, one of the things that candida does, yeast, fungus, you know what it does? It loves to attach itself, or heavy metals, including BPA, love to attach itself to candida. This is one of the reasons that when you get someone that has Parkinson's, and talk about a condition that is like out of control today, Parkinson's. You know what they find? Heavy metals, mercury, lead, big time lead, cadmium. And they find that in the brain. It's in the brain tissue. It's disrupting the neurological system, the headquarters, the brain. But you know what gets that stuff into your brain, guys? Yeast, fungus, candida. It travels through the bloodstream. It loves garbage. It loves heavy metals. It'll bring it up through the blood-brain barrier. That's why, you know me, I'm big on this. Everybody and your dog should be supplementing with broad-spectrum probiotics. Everybody. We live in a different world today. You know what? I never said that 50 years ago. I didn't. I took probiotics. No, but I didn't say it. We didn't know, guys. We didn't know what the microbiome and all this and that. But today we know what that microbiome is. When you jump on a scale, eliminate 3 pounds because you got 3 pounds of bacteria. And it's either good, bad, or ugly. Okay. I think I might write a book about the microbiome. Good, bad, and ugly. Wasn't that a movie? But folks, listen, the top 2 things you can do. Empty your liver, and that's your diet. Microbiome, replace it. Continuously put good guys in the battle. Replenish. Replenish. Constantly, guys. And I'm sorry, yogurt won't do it. No, it's not strong enough. I'm sorry, guys. I just got to tell you what I've seen. And one of the reasons we have so much autoimmune. Insanity, the amount of autoimmune we see today. It's a disruption of the microbiome, and chemicals are part of it. Like I said, you can't control all of it. Like you can stop drinking out of a plastic bottle. You know, I still drink. Can I tell you? I still drink out of a plastic bottle. Okay? I'm not a purist in that sense. And I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you me. I find it convenient. I look at life this way. Okay? if I can't control everything, one thing I can control, Dr. Martin can control in his own life, is how much water I'm drinking. And for me, I find it very convenient. I love spring water. I like its pH. And we're meant to drink mineral water. But you can drink tap water too. Just make sure you filter it. And the nice thing is you can get little filters today and filter that garbage out 99%, but you're not going to do it 100%. So don't worry about that. Like for me, I'm trying to give you the big picture, guys, what to do. And get your liver and your kidneys that God gave you to detox. Stop eating sugar. What can I tell you? It'll affect your plastics. It will. Because your liver will take care of your plastics. And probiotics too, when they're broad spectrum. There are certain strains of bacteria that know exactly how to get rid of chemicals. It's amazing. It's amazing. Little troopers that are on your side that take toxins out of your body. They help you and help your liver. Yep. The microbiome. One of the most fascinating parts of the human body. The invisible army that works for you. And feed it right. Feed your soldiers. You know your bacteria that are on your side, you know what they love? Steak. And eggs. And cheese. That's what they like. If you want to feed the bad guys that are saying to your, come on in, plastics. Come on in, garbage. Those are your bad bacteria. And they allow the third army to flourish. That is your candida. Your yeast. They carry all the bad guys throughout your bloodstream, into your joints, into your brain, into your lungs, into your prostate, men. And bladder, ladies, and your hormone lady, and your breast tissue. You know what breast tissue, guys? Think of it. Girls, I meant. That's what your breast tissue is made up of. Mostly. I'm pointing to fat. So you got to be careful, ladies. You got to be careful to keep those fat levels down. That's why, again, the reset. It's burning the fat in your body, the visceral fat around your organs and in your breast tissue. You don't want to get rid of all your fat. Of course not. Anyway, I don't want to get into the weeds too much. I just want to emphasize the importance, number one, of the world in which we live, that you can control, and do the things you can control. That's really the lesson of today. Okay? Okay. Private Facebook group. Tens of thousands have joined our private Facebook group. We appreciate it. Join our club. Okay? Join the club. 2, the Doctor is In podcast. For those that of your family and friends and whatever, get them to get that, listen to the podcast, the Doctor is In podcast, and that is on your smartphones, your devices, that, you can listen to that. And you can listen to it yourself again, repeat. It's always good. Okay? And of course, the Reset book. Thank you again. We mean it from the bottom of our hearts, how you've made that number one. We appreciate that. Okay? Thank you, guys. Love you. You know I do, right? When I say that, I mean it. Okay. Talk to you soon.